One question that comes up periodically for users that are designing hard stands or other pads as part of their road geometry is, well, how come my line work and surface generated as the road is not necessarily following the pad geometry that I'm referencing as my reference feature, at least not perfectly. And for that, well, the real answer is that location is working off a cross-section model, and with that, the cross-sections that we generate are a user-defined input. So we can mitigate that issue by either adding in more dense cross-sections or adding in cross-sections at specific points. Now, before I expand on how to do that, I will also say that location works as a cross-section based model. If we wanted to design our pad more as a string model and kind of site grading, not being limited to kind of considering it in terms of cross-section, we could do that, and we could do that with the terrain grading functionality. But here, just for continuity with the rest of the workflow, we're going to focus on how to do that in location. So to add in more frequent cross-section spacing, we can change our report points. So report points control, well, how frequently we generate a cross-section. There are a bunch of different classes of report points. So obviously if we have a curve, well, we probably need to generate a cross-section at the start and end of the curve. If we're inserting a culvert, we need to have a cross-section where the culvert is inserted. But if we just want to kind of as a blanket prescription apply more dense spacing than we were otherwise, we could do that with our auto interval points. So here, if I want to reduce this down to 5 meters from 25 meters, we can. I'll hit OK, and we'll see that we get a much denser cross-section model. And we can see those cross-sections that aren't auto interval space that are landing on funny intervals. So that is one tool in the toolbox. Now, if you're using that tool in the toolbox, it's worth just being cognizant that there's a trade-off here, and it's a performance trade-off. If you went really, really small here, you'd get really crisp lines, but things would take longer to calculate. So usually, there's kind of a practical limit, and it's going to depend a little bit on how irregular your surface is, how bendy your road can be. But yeah, I generally don't go lower than 5 in most cases. Now, if we wanted to add more cross sections just in the pad extents rather than doing it for the whole road, we could go up here, we could click auto generate, and we could generate report points at fixed intervals for a certain station. I'm not going to do that here. Instead, I'm going to add in report points manually. So if I look at this and I come up to the end here and think, well, I could track that a little nicer, I can come in my plan view, right click, add edit report points, and we can come in here, and I'm going to just add in that report point to catch the edge of my pad geometry nice. I'll do the same over here. And we'll add in another one on the other side of things. Now, with this, I'll do the same over here. And we'll do the same over there. I'll capture this point where it juts in. And we'll continue right along here. So if we want crisper edges around our transition points for that pad, we can totally adjust our cross-section sampling. And just to reiterate, that is, well, controlling your cross-section spacing and location. We could also kind of alternatively design the pad or detail the pad in terrain if that's what we would rather do.